Barbosu is speaking out after the International Olympic Committee announced that she would be awarded the bronze medal that Jordan Chiles received at the 2024 Paris Olympics. The Romanian first-time Olympian shared an empathetic message to the U.S. gymnast as well as to her teammate Sabrina Maneka-Voinea after the IOC released its decision August 11, hours before the game's closing ceremony, following a court ruling that was made in response to an appeal by both Romanian athletes and the Romanian Gymnastics Federation. Sabrina, Jordan, my thoughts are with you, Barbosu, 18, wrote in English on her Instagram stories. I know what you are feeling, because I've been through the same. But I know you'll come back stronger. I hope from deep in my heart that at the next Olympics, all three of us will share the same podium. This is my true dream. On August 10, the Court of Arbitration for Sport invalidated an inquiry Chiles' coach had submitted during the August 5 gymnastics floor exercise final that led to the athlete's score to be raised by 0.1 of a point and for her to be boosted from 5th to 3rd place to win her first individual Olympic medal. Jordan Chiles stripped a bronze medal in 2024 Olympics floor exercise. Chiles' floor exercise final score revision came just as Barbosu was getting ready to celebrate making the podium. Her reaction to the change that denied her her first Olympic medal, a look of devastation as she let go on the large Romanian flag she previously held and put both hands below her heart, was caught on camera and went viral. The shakeup stirred controversy in Romania, birthplace of legendary retired Olympic gymnast Nadia Comaneci, and Prime Minister Marcel Ciolacu said in Romanian on Facebook August 6 he would snub the Paris Olympics closing ceremony following the scandalous situation in the gymnastics, where our athletes were treated in an absolutely dishonorable manner. In its ruling, the court had accepted the Romanian side's argument that Chiles' coach had submitted the score inquiry 4 seconds beyond a 1-minute time limit. USA Gymnastics recently challenged this allegation by submitting what they say is new video evidence to the court. The Romanian side also sought a three-way tie for third place in the competition, with medals to be awarded to Chiles, Barbosu and Maneka-Voinea, who earned the same score as her teammate but received fewer points for execution. This situation would not have existed if the persons in charge had respected the regulation, Barbosu said in her message. We athletes are not to be blamed, and the hate directed to us is painful. I wanted to end this edition of the Olympic Games Paris 2024 in the spirit of Olympism, the true value of the world. Chiles' floor exercise final score revision came just as Barbosu was getting ready to celebrate making the podium. Her reaction to the change that denied her her first Olympic medal, a look of devastation as she let go on the large Romanian flag she previously held and put both hands below her heart, was caught on camera and went viral. The shakeup stirred controversy in Romania, birthplace of legendary retired Olympic gymnast Nadia Comaneci, and Prime Minister Marcel Ciolacu said in Romanian on Facebook August 6 he would snub the Paris Olympics closing ceremony following the scandalous situation in the gymnastics, where our athletes were treated in an absolutely dishonorable manner. In its ruling, the court had accepted the Romanian side's argument that Chiles' coach had submitted the score inquiry 4 seconds beyond a 1-minute time limit. They also sought a three-way tie for third, with medals to be awarded to Chiles, Barbosu and Maneka-Voinea, who earned the same score as her teammate but received fewer points for execution. The U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee says it plans to appeal the decision to return the bronze medal given to Chiles, who had previously helped Team USA earn gold at gymnastics team all-around finals in Paris and at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics in 2021. We firmly believe that Jordan rightfully earned the bronze medal, the group said in a statement August 11, according to multiple outlets, and there were critical errors in both the initial scoring by the International Gymnastics Federation, FIG, and the subsequent CAS appeal process that need to be addressed. Chiles, who has been the target of hateful comments on social media and especially from supporters of the Romanian gymnasts, expressed her heartbreak at the court's decision after it was released August 10. I am taking this time and removing myself from social media for my mental health, the 23-year-old wrote on her Instagram stories. Thank you. Look back at more controversies from the 2024 Paris Olympics. Jordan Chiles medal controversy. After the U.S. gymnast won bronze in the women's gymnastics individual floor exercise final, the Romanian Gymnastics Federation and Romanian finalists Ana Maria Barbosu and Sabrina Maneka-Voinea, who came in 4th and 5th place, filed an appeal with the Court of Arbitration for Sport. The Romanian side argued that an inquiry that Chiles' coach had submitted at the competition that had led to the athlete's score to be raised by 0.1 of a point should not have been granted because it was submitted 4 seconds past a 1-minute deadline. The court agreed and ruled that the U.S. athlete's initial score of 13.666 would be reinstated, a decision also adopted later by the International Gymnastics Federation, which said in a statement that it had modified the rankings to put Barbosu in third place. The International Olympics Committee then announced that it will reallocate the bronze medal to Ana Barbosu, Romania, adding, "We are in touch with the NOC of Romania to discuss the reallocation ceremony and with USOPC regarding the return of the bronze medal." The U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee says it plans to appeal the decision. Canada boots women's soccer coach. The 2024 Olympics had barely begun when Bev Priestman, head coach of the Canadian women's soccer team, was removed from her post by Canada Soccer after her staff was accused of using drones to spy on the New Zealand team ahead of their group stage match. Additional information has come to our attention regarding previous drone use against opponents predating the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, Canada Soccer CEO and General Secretary Kevin Blue said in a July 25 statement explaining the decision. In light of these new revelations, Canada Soccer has made the decision to suspend Bev Priestman for the remainder of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, and until the completion of our recently announced independent external review. Priestman apologized, saying in a statement, "I am absolutely heartbroken for the players, and I would like to apologize from the bottom of my heart for the impact this situation has had on all of them. The team, which won gold in Tokyo, is a group of people who care very much about sportsmanship and integrity," she continued. "As the leader of the team on the field, I want to take accountability, and I plan to fully cooperate with the Canadian Soccer Association investigation." South Korea mistaken for North Korea during the opening ceremony. As the boat carrying athletes from South Korea came into view during the July 26 opening ceremony, they were incorrectly announced in both French and English as being from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, which is North Korea. South Korea, meanwhile, is the Republic of Korea. In a July 27 statement, the International Olympic Committee noted, "We deeply apologize for the mistake that occurred when introducing the Korean team during the opening ceremony broadcast." IOC President Thomas Bach also called South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol to apologize for the Chief Executive's office, which relayed that Yoon told Bach the people of South Korea were very shocked and embarrassed by the mistake. An IOC spokesperson called the error an operational mistake that was clearly deeply regrettable. Parade order is determined alphabetically according to the host nation's language, minus Greece, which always goes first as the home of the first Olympics, and the host nation goes last. South Korea was the 48th country in the Parade of Nations, while North Korea was 153rd. The wrong kind of splash. British commentator Bob Ballard was pulled from Eurostar's Olympics coverage for making a remark that was widely derided as sexist after Australian swimmers Molly O'Callaghan, Shayna Jack, Emma McKeon and Meg Harris won gold in the 4x100-meter freestyle relay. "Well, the women just finishing off," Ballard said following the race. "You know what women are like, hanging around, doing their makeup." His co-commentator Lizzie Simmons replied, "Outrageous, Bob. Some of the men are doing that as well." Calling his comment inappropriate, Eurostar said in a July 29 statement Ballard had been removed with immediate effect from further coverage. The veteran sportscaster promptly apologized. "The comments I made during the Australian freestyle relay victory ceremony on Saturday have caused some offense," he wrote on X. "It was never my intention to upset or belittle anyone, and, if I did, I apologize. I am a massive advocate of women's sport." The rumor that went off the deep end. After speculation that a too-shallow pool inside La Defense Arena was responsible for slower than expected times in swimming, the athletes torpedoed the idea that the water wasn't deep enough to smash records. "I think it's totally a myth," Team USA's Regan Smith, who swam away from Paris with 5 medals, told NBC Olympics. After she and Gretchen Walsh, Lily King and Tori Husk set a new world record in the women's 4x100-meter medley. "I think at first people were very aware of the lack of new records, so, I think that caused some chatter, like, oh, is it the pool that's doing this? But I think as the meet went on, people got used to it, and then I think they got more comfortable with it, and then we started seeing some really fast swims." Added 4-time medalist Walsh, "I think much of what the Olympics is, and what it represents, makes any pool that it's at feel kind of slow. Because you have so much pressure on yourself that it is hard at your 100% best." Swimmer sent home for indiscipline. Brazilian swimmer Ana Carolina Vieira was sent home after, according to the Brazilian Olympic Committee, she committed 2 acts of indiscipline. She left the Olympic Village with boyfriend, teammate Gabriel Santos without permission, the BOC said, after acting, in a disrespectful and aggressive manner, in response to a technical decision made by the Brazilian Swimming Team Committee regarding the 4x100 meters freestyle relay. In a video titled, "How a Communication Failure Destroyed My Olympic Dream," Vieira lamented what happened but said, "Everything is going to be solved at the right time." Another swimmer kicked out for inappropriate atmosphere. The Paraguayan Olympic Committee asked swimmer Luana Alonso to leave the Games, alleging in a statement that she had created an inappropriate atmosphere at the heart of Team Paraguay. "We thank her for proceeding as instructed," the statement continued, as it was of her own free will that she did not spend the night in the athletes' village. The Southern Methodist University student had seemingly already returned to Texas when she wrote on Instagram story, translated from Spanish, August 5, "I just wanted to make it clear that I was never removed or expelled from anywhere. Stop spreading false information. I don't want to give any statement, but I'm not going to let lies affect me either." Michaela Skinner versus Simone Biles. Simone Biles had already let it be known what she thought of Tokyo teammate Michaela Skinner's criticism of the U.S. gymnastics team selected to go to Paris, and Skinner had apologized for saying in a since-deleted video that the talent and the depth just isn't like what it used to be, and that, obviously, a lot of girls don't work as hard. But after the 2024 squad won team gold, Biles captioned a photo of the athletes, "Lack of talent, lazy, Olympic champions," an apparent jab at Skinner's original comment. On August 6, Skinner reiterated in an Instagram video that she had poorly articulated her original point. But, she added, the cyberbullying she and her family had been subject to, fallout from her cyber feud with Biles, had gotten out of hand. She pleaded with the 7-time gold medalist to please put a stop to this. "Please ask your followers to stop. Beam in a little noise, please." Neither Biles nor Suni Lee medaled in beam this year after both gymnasts fell off the apparatus during their final routines. Afterward, Biles commented on the strangely quiet environment during their penultimate event in Paris. "It was really weird and awkward," the athlete, who earned bronze on beam in Tokyo, told the Associated Press. "We've asked several times if we can have some music, or some background noise. I'm not really sure what happened there, but yeah, not our favorite. None of us liked it." In response to the GOAT's complaint, an International Gymnastics Federation said the atmosphere was part of the sport presentation plan at Paris 2024. Lee noted that the pressure was definitely on, and a lot of people were definitely feeling it. She wondered if it was so quiet the nearby photographers could hear her breathing. "It adds to the stress," Lee said, "just because it's like you, yes, you're the only one up there. So I was feeling the pressure." Gymnastics scoring shocker. Jordan Chiles seemingly finished out of the running for a medal when she completed her floor exercise final routine and received a score of 13.666, Romania's Ana Barbosu ahead of her in third place with a score of 13.700. But after Team USA filed a score inquiry on Chiles' behalf and her performance was further reviewed by the judges, her start value was increased by 1/10 of a point. As a result, her score was subsequently bumped up to 13.766. Meaning, she got the bronze, and Barbosu, who was already waving her country's flag in celebration, left the arena in tears. Afterward, Barbosu posted a video of herself competing and wrote, "Thank you to everyone who encouraged me before, during, and after the competition." 5,000 meters scoring shocker. Medal adjustments haven't been confined to the gymnastics arena. Kenyan runner Faith Kipyegon was initially disqualified for seeming to jostle Gudaf Tsegay of Ethiopia during the women's 5,000 meters at the Stade de France on August 5, negating her second-place finish. "I have never seen anything like that, in an Olympic final that went on for so long," commentator Kara Goucher, a 2-time Olympian, said on the broadcast, noting that the two women also appeared to exchange heated words. "You see a little bit of elbow, you see a little bit of frustration, but that was many strides in scolding." It wasn't until the wee hours of August 6 that Kipyegon found out her silver medal had been reinstated. The Olympic Jury of Appeal ruled that, while there had been significant contact between her and Tsegay, the incident did not warrant a disqualification. With that, Italy's Nadia Battocletti, the fourth-place finisher bumped into bronze position by the disqualification, was re-relegated to fourth. Swimming disqualifications that stood. Two athletes' hopes of a medal were dashed when they unwittingly broke rules mid-swim, meaning they didn't even know they were out until they finished their races. Great Britain's Luke Greenbank finished first in his 200-meter backstroke heat but was disqualified for staying underwater for further than the maximum 15 meters after first diving in. Win or lose, I've always been my own harshest critic, but sometimes you've just got to take it as it comes, he wrote on Instagram August 1. I can take pride in the fact that I know I was in great shape coming into these games after a tough few years, but this will motivate me to come back stronger. A technical error also knocked Alex Walsh off the 200-meter individual medley podium after she finished in the bronze position. As she approached the wall during the last leg of her backstroke, she made an illegal turn by starting to flip out of position before she tapped the wall and launched into her breaststroke. Still proud, Walsh wrote on Instagram August 6, thanking her supporters a few days after the race. Despite the DQ, this Olympics has been an experience that has left me feeling happy and fulfilled, and I will cherish that forever. After all, everything happens for a reason, and there is so much more to be excited about for me in this sport. Despite $1.53 billion having been budgeted to clean up the perennially polluted Seine, reports swirled for months leading up to the Paris Games about whether it would be safe enough to hold the swimming leg of the triathlons and the 10-kilometer marathons in the river. Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo went for a swim July 17 and declared France's most famous body of water good to go, but it's been kind of a ST show since the Olympics began. On Monday, July 29, swims for the triathletes to familiarize themselves with the Seine were cancelled, officials citing poor water quality levels caused by runoff from the weekend's heavy rains, which noticeably started during the July 26 opening ceremony. The men's triathlon was then postponed a day and rescheduled to follow the women's event on July 31 after organizers deemed bacteria levels too high for a safe swim. Both triathlons were held July 31, day of tests finding that E. coli and intestinal enterococci levels were low enough to qualify the water as excellent quality per the European Union's bathing water directive. But speculation that the water wasn't safe resumed after two athletes who competed in the triathlon dropped out of the mixed relay competition, citing respective illnesses, neither of which have been definitively linked to swimming in the Seine. The women's and men's 10 kilometers are still scheduled for August 8 and 9, but practices were cancelled August 6 after tests showed bacteria levels were once again too high. Australian field hockey player arrested. Australian field hockey player Tom Craig publicly apologized after being arrested for attempting to buy cocaine in Paris 2 days after the team's quarterfinal loss to the Netherlands. I would firstly like to apologize for what has occurred over the last 24 hours, he said at an August 7 press conference per the Australian Associated Press. My actions are my own and by no way reflect the values of my family, my teammates, my friends, the sport and the Australian Olympic team. I have embarrassed you all and I'm truly sorry. In a statement, an Australian Olympic Committee official called Tom a good person who had made a poor decision, and said the team would support him if he needed help. But the official added, the athlete was losing all of his remaining Olympic privileges, effective immediately.